The officials of Pan-African Women Action Summit 2011, the organizers of the summit, and honorable delegates, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. It is my honor and great privilege to be given this golden opportunity to be a speaker in the 2011 summit. The path to leadership was not an easy one in my case. Healing from a community that believes in subordination, disciplining women violently, and women as a subject to be used for the pleasure of men. I come from a region called Northeastern Province. The region has a population of about 2.4 million out of 34 million Kenyans as per the census 2010. The region has historically been marginalized, discriminated against by both colonial and post-colonial government. Majority of the population are pastoralists and nomads. They practice livestock keeping, and that's the way of their livelihood. The province is the third largest in the region, and the community encounters a lot of problems, including conflicts over resources within themselves, that is pasture, water, and given the drought that currently we have, then the conflict is more. And there have been incidents of a lot of violence by the government of the day. We have had police that have massacred the people of the region. And we have the Wagala massacre, the Garissa Kardas massacre, we have Mandera Malkamari massacre. All these have been done by the government of the day. And having told you the background of my region, let me come back to the struggle that I've gone through as at a tender age. At the age of 5, culture sentenced me to homeless status, vulnerable to poverty and violence. My father Abdinur subscribed to the pressure from his community and peers to kick out my mom. The reason is she was not able to bear a son. With the harsh verdict from my father and elders, my faith and my upbringing was sealed by my community. There was no place for us in my father's compound. I had to take responsibility of my 2 sisters, as my mother engaged in petty trades and other modes of survival in order to provide for her family at least a meal a day. Through passing of time, this pain of rejection, I've learned a lot of lessons that directed my steps towards a career to be a role model and a defender for the voiceless in the society. Without looking back, I decided to form a non-governmental organization called Womankind Kenya. Womankind Kenya is a non-governmental organization based in Garissa. It has its head office in Garissa. It is an organization that deals with specifically emphasizing on poverty eradication and human rights abuses. It is an organization that directly works with the people, and particularly with the women and the children. When we started the organization, it was very difficult even among the society, because the society then did not know activism. They did not know any issues. It was a closed society. So besides the government, we had a problem with even the society themselves. The society thought that we were going beyond and the issues that the society believed in, and they thought that we were borrowing largely and from other society, and we were bringing ideas of other people to the society. So that also gave us a major challenge on how to do things. So after they have seen, the community have seen our input, the work of the organization, what we were able to do, trying to put up schools. And Womankind was able, through my own initiative and others, put up about 50 schools in Northeastern Province, particularly in the Ijara and Garissa districts. We were able to put water points for the pastoralist community, about 25 water points. We started farming along the banks of Tana River, and we started doing irrigation along there, and we were able to settle people who were displaced by the drought, about 3,000, 4,000 families along, putting them into a farming system. After working with the community, then the other thing that we found was a challenge was the leadership in place. We felt that the community was lacking the leadership that it requires, particularly to engage with the government and to create an environment that was able to work with the society. So I decided to offer myself for an elective position. I contested the parliamentary seat of Ijara in 1997. When I was doing that, I was just sending a message both to the society, to the leadership, and to the girls. To the society, I was sending a message that a woman is able to do anything that is required, and they have seen that through my work in Womankind. And to the government, because to the leadership of the region, because we never had a woman who contested any political position in our country, in my constituency and in the region of Northeastern Province. So we were sending a message that even a woman can be a leader in the society. The third message we were sending out, personally I was sending out to the girls who were in the school, was go to school, learn proper, and you can do anything, and you can be anything within the society. And those messages sold very well that time. The women came out in big numbers, and they were so excited. They were so happy that a woman was able to offer herself a leadership position in the society, and that gave me really changed my thinking then. So when we went for the elections, I won the elections. And that did not sink well with the leaders, with the religious leaders, and particularly with the men from my society. So they all rushed to the president, and they told the president then that according to Islam and according to our culture, the Somali culture, it was wrong for a woman to contest a parliamentary seat and to lead the society. And they quoted verses of the Quran saying that a woman who leads the society that society will be faced with disasters. So the president then, who did not know my culture, who did not know my tradition, who did not know my culture, announced through the national televisions, and he disqualified my elections because that time, you remember, it was, the country was under dictatorship, and anything the president said, and the president was above the law. So my victory and the victory of the people of Ijara was stolen by the system then, by the government then. But I did not look back at that. I did not cry over that. I felt I have sent the message I wanted to send. I was a delegate in the constitutional reform process. And the constitutional reform process had three main reasons why we wanted to change the constitution. One, the constitution was a borrowed constitution. It was not our constitution. It was not a homegrown constitution. It came from Lancaster House in London. It was heavily influenced by the British who were our colony. And the people of Kenya wanted their own constitution that was, a friendly to everybody. That was one. The other one was because of discrimination, historical discrimination in this country, where every Kenyan felt that he or she was discriminated in one way or the other. So they wanted a constitution that could address the historical injustices. The third thing was resource sharing in the country. People felt wherever the leadership of the country was, where the presidency of this country was, that is where the resources was going to. So we wanted a constitution that will be fair, that will share the resources equally across board. Bombers. That failed in 2005 because our aspiration and our needs was not captured properly in WACO draft. I stood with the people who voted against the constitution then, and we were able to succeed. We won, and then a new energy was developed on re-energizing the demand for constitutional review. Lucky enough, as we were doing after the referendum of 2005, we formed a movement, and I became one of the founders of that movement, the Orange Democratic Movement, and I became among the board of Orange Democratic Movement. I was an official from 2005, and I was chosen by my party, the Orange Democratic Movement, to be the point person for my region, Northeastern Province, and to lobby and put strategy of winning the elections of 2007. If you look back, Northeastern have been a closed zone for the government all the years. And 2007, we made history where an opposition like Orange Democratic Movement was able to get more seats than the government. And that is why I was given the nomination. I was nominated because I did a lot of work for my political party. Having now come and been a member of parliament in the 10th Parliament of the National Assembly of Kenya, I felt I had a responsibility, particularly to address the historical injustices that existed over the years for my society and any other Kenyan in the society. I also decided that I will be able to be an ambassador for the women, the pastoralists, the children, and all the minority groups in the society in this country. So my responsibility was, how best can we address all this? Then, lucky enough, the parliament chose me, among others, because of all this what I'm talking about, to sit in the Parliamentary Select Committee on the constitutional review process, which drove the constitutional review process. We were 7 women in the out of the 27 member the select committee, and I was able to really influence that process with my friends. And if you look at the constitution that we have just given ourselves, look at the Bill of Rights. That Bill of Rights is nowhere in the world. It has expanded Bill of Rights, whereby every issue of historical injustices have been addressed now in thanks to our constitution. In light to the new constitutional implementation process, I'm a member myself now, the Parliamentary Oversight Committee on the implementation of the constitution, and that is giving me an opportunity to see that the constitution is being implemented to the letter and spirit. And to conclude, I wish to take this chance to thank the organizers and every person who is contributing in this particular forum, and to say that it was my pleasure to be with you and to participate fully and to give much more than what I've just given you, but unfortunately, because of the implementation of the constitution and because of the deadline that we have in the parliament now, I wasn't able to be with you. I want to congratulate you for this particular summit and the organizations that you have put together. I want also to congratulate you for being a voice for the society and to stand up and see that you'll be able to work with the Africans wherever they are in the world. And I want to say that I want to bless you. I want to tell you thank you so much, and God be with you.